The day that Daniel's life began to change started with just one broken mirror. He looked at his reflection, cracked down the middle, and whispered to himself, "Maybe that's who I really am," shattered. From the outside, Daniel looked like any other 17-year-old American boy. Tall, a little awkward, wearing the same worn-out sneakers every day. But inside, he carried something heavy. Doubt. Fear. A voice in his head that never stopped saying, "You'll never be enough." He wasn't a bad student, but he wasn't good either. He wasn't the fastest runner, but he wasn't the slowest. He wasn't invisible, but he wasn't seen. And that, perhaps, was the hardest part, living a life that felt like it didn't matter. Daniel lived in a small town where everyone seemed to know what they wanted in life. His best friend talked about becoming a doctor. His neighbor bragged about joining the Marines. Even the boy who sat behind him in math class dreamed of building airplanes. But when someone asked Daniel, "So, what do you want to do after school?" he froze. He didn't know. He had no answer. One night, lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, Daniel whispered, "What if I don't change? What if this is all I'll ever be?" That thought haunted him more than anything else. The next morning, something unusual happened. On the way to school, he saw an old man sitting on a bench near the park. The man had a notebook on his lap and was scribbling something quickly. For a moment, Daniel wanted to keep walking. But something about the man's focus pulled him closer. "Morning," Daniel said softly. The man looked up and smiled. "Morning, son. Do you write?" Daniel laughed nervously. "Me? No. I mean, I tried once. But I'm not good at anything like that." The man tapped his notebook. "Neither was I, when I started. Nobody is." Daniel didn't know why, but those words stuck. Nobody is. He carried them into his first class, through the boring lectures, even into lunch. He thought about how he always gave up before trying. About how many times he'd said, "I'm just not good at that," and let the thought control him. That night, Daniel picked up an old notebook from his closet. The cover was bent, the pages messy, but he opened it anyway. He stared at the blank page. His hand shook a little. And then, slowly, he began to write. The words were clumsy. The sentences uneven. But as the ink spread across the page, something stirred inside him. For the first time in a long while, Daniel felt alive, but what happened next will shock you. The next day, Daniel brought his notebook to school, hidden deep inside his backpack. He didn't plan to show anyone. It was just for him. A secret. But at lunch, while he was searching for his sandwich, the notebook slipped out and landed on the floor. His classmates saw it. One boy picked it up and flipped through the pages. "Daniel writes stories." The boy laughed. "Listen to this." Daniel's face turned red as the boy began reading aloud. The words sounded clumsy, childish, ridiculous. The cafeteria roared with laughter. Daniel grabbed the notebook back, his hands trembling. He wanted to disappear. He wanted the ground to swallow him whole. That night, he stuffed the notebook deep under his bed and promised himself never to write again. He whispered, "I was stupid to think I could change." But deep down, something inside him refused to die. A small voice kept whispering, "Don't give up." Days passed. Then weeks. Daniel felt smaller and smaller, like a shadow in his own life. Until one afternoon, when the old man from the park appeared again. This time, Daniel stopped. "You quit, didn't you?" The man asked, almost as if he could read his mind. Daniel looked down. "How do you know?" The man smiled sadly. "Because I once did the same. I threw my notebook away when people laughed. And I regret it every day." Daniel froze. The man's words felt heavy, like they were meant for him and him alone. The man leaned closer. "You don't write for them. You write for yourself. That's how change begins." Something sparked inside Daniel. He went home that night and pulled the notebook back out. He stared at the messy pages, at the words people had mocked. And instead of shame, he felt something new. Courage, he wrote again. Slowly. Quietly. Without telling anyone. Page after page, night after night. He didn't know if the words were good. He didn't care. He was changing, not outside. Not yet, but inside, where it mattered most. And then, the unexpected happened. One of his teachers, Ms. Carter, asked the class to submit something personal for a creative writing assignment. Daniel hesitated. He thought about lying, about turning in something ordinary. But then, almost against his own will, he slipped one of his stories into the pile. Weeks later, Ms. Carter stopped him after class. She held his paper in her hands. "Daniel, did you really write this?" Daniel's stomach dropped. "Yes." "Why?" Her eyes softened. "Because it's beautiful." In that moment, Daniel felt something he had never felt before, seen. Truly seen, but what happened next will shock you. Instead of keeping his praise private, Ms. Carter asked if she could read Daniel's story aloud to the class. Daniel panicked. He remembered the cafeteria. The laughter. The humiliation. He shook his head. "Please, don't." But Ms. Carter smiled. "Trust me." The next morning, she stood at the front of the classroom and read Daniel's story. His classmates listened. And this time, no one laughed. No one mocked. When she finished, the room was silent. Then, slowly, people began to clap. Daniel couldn't believe it. The same classmates who had once torn him down were now applauding. For a moment, he thought maybe his life could be different. Maybe he could change. That night, Daniel wrote until his hand ached. Words poured out of him, faster than ever before. He wasn't just writing stories. He was writing himself into someone new. Someone stronger. Someone who believed, but just when Daniel thought his life was turning around, something happened that threatened to destroy it all. It began with a letter in the mailbox. A letter that would change everything. Daniel stared at the envelope in his hands. His name was written across the front in messy black ink. No return address. No stamp. Just his name, Daniel. He felt a shiver crawl down his spine. Who had left this in his family's mailbox? He tore it open carefully. Inside was a single sheet of paper. The handwriting was uneven, rushed. "I read your story. You don't know me, but you need to keep writing. Don't stop. Your words will change lives." Daniel's heart raced. His eye scanned the letter again and again. Who would write something like this? He thought of Ms. Carter, but she wouldn't leave a letter without signing it. He thought of his classmates, but none of them cared enough to do this. The letter ended with only 3 words, "Don't give up." Daniel folded the paper and slipped it into his notebook. For the first time in his life, he felt like the universe was speaking directly to him. But what happened next will shock you. The very next week, Daniel's father found his notebook. His father had never been supportive of anything Daniel did. He believed in practical work, real jobs, not dreams. He held up the notebook and frowned. Daniel, what is this nonsense? You think writing stories is going to pay your bills? You think this will get you into college? Forget it. Be realistic. Daniel's chest tightened. He wanted to argue, but the words got stuck in his throat. His father tossed the notebook on the table and walked away. That night, Daniel sat in his room, staring at the notebook. The letter inside. The words his father had thrown at him. He felt trapped between two voices, one telling him to quit, the other telling him to keep going. He whispered into the silence, which one is right? The next day at school, Ms. Carter pulled him aside. Daniel, there's a writing contest in the city next month. I think you should enter. Daniel's eyes widened. Me? No. I'm not ready. But she smiled warmly. You are more ready than you think. Just try. That night, Daniel sat at his desk with a blank page. His father's voice echoed in his mind, nonsense, waste of time. Then he thought of the letter, don't give up. He picked up his pen. And he began to write. For weeks, Daniel poured his heart into the story. He wrote about loneliness, about fear, about hope. Every word felt like a piece of his soul on paper. When he finally finished, he held the pages in his trembling hands and thought, this is me. The day of the contest arrived. Daniel traveled to the city for the first time in years. The auditorium was filled with hundreds of students, all dressed sharply, carrying polished manuscripts. Daniel looked down at his wrinkled papers and old sneakers. He felt like an imposter. When his name was called, his hands shook so badly he almost dropped the pages. He walked onto the stage. The microphone buzzed. For a moment, the room blurred, and then, he remembered the words, "Don't give up." Daniel began to read. His voice was soft at first, uncertain. But as the story unfolded, something changed. He wasn't just reading words. He was living them. Every sentence carried the weight of his journey, the raw honesty of his pain, and the fragile beauty of his hope. When he finished, silence filled the room. A long, heavy silence. Daniel's heart sank. But then, one person clapped. Then another. And another. Until the entire auditorium was filled with applause. Daniel's eyes burned with tears. For the first time, he realized he had power, not the kind that came from muscles or money, but the kind that came from sharing his truth. But what happened next will shock you. A week later, Daniel received a phone call. He had won second place in the contest. It wasn't first. It wasn't perfect. But it was real. And it meant something. When he told his father, there was silence on the other end of the table. Finally, his father sighed. Maybe I was wrong. Those words were harder for his father to say than anything else. And for Daniel, they meant more than the award itself. Daniel didn't stop there. He kept writing. Day after day. Story after story. His confidence grew. His world grew. And so did he. Years later, Daniel would look back at that broken mirror, that first scribbled notebook, that cruel laughter in the cafeteria, and he would realize something. The life he wanted wasn't handed to him. He built it, one word at a time, and the twist. The mysterious letter that told him don't give up, it wasn't from Ms. Carter. It wasn't from a classmate. It wasn't even from a stranger. One day, after graduation, Daniel found the truth. His mother admitted she had written it, slipping it quietly into the mailbox because she didn't know how else to tell him she believed in him. Daniel cried when he heard that. Not because of the words, but because of the love behind them. The love he didn't know had been with him all along, and from that day forward, whenever life grew heavy, Daniel would whisper the same words that had once saved him: "Don't give up." If this story touched your heart, give this video a like and share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what part spoke to you most, and don't forget, I share stories like this every day. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one.